Good afternoon. Welcome back to Weinig Holz-Her USA here in Mooresville. We are in day 2 of the Re-Tool Tour. We're going to give you a little more than you bargained for right now. We just finished up a great session where we were learning about new concepts in manufacturing with Daniel Dew. Now we're going to pivot. We got a little bit of extra time. We're going to pivot and we're going to show you some manufacturing solutions here on the floor. I want to remind you that we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, and we are on WeinigHolzer.com. Now I want to bring in Mr. Michael Cassell. Michael Cassell is heading up our Holz-Her system sales, and he's going to tell you a little bit about this Holz-Her solution that we have here on the showroom floor. Michael, take it away.
Thank you, Andy. Again, on behalf of Holz-Her, welcome to Mooresville and Retool 2020. I'd like to talk to you today about a little bit about the StoreMaster system. StoreMaster represents the latest in automation from Holz-Her. The key question with the StoreMaster is, are you running production or are you looking for your panels? The StoreMaster is really designed to accomplish two problems. One is inventory management. The StoreMaster allows for inventory to be centrally located. We're able to stack our panels within 3 inches of each other. The system maintains min-max levels on inventory and can alert us when we've reached the minimum level of our inventory. In fact, in a lot of cases, we find that our customers can reduce the amount of inventory that they have simply because they know what they have in inventory. A typical scenario is, hey, we got that big job coming up next week. Are we ready? I'm not sure. Let's order a couple of bunks of material. With the StoreMaster, I know real time that I've got 163 sheets, more than enough to run that particular job. We can store the inventory either dedicated or chaotic. In the dedicated stack, that stack is dedicated to a specific material. In the chaotic stacks, we can mix our material. The system is an intelligent system. It knows that that oddball piece of black melamine is in stack number 6 and it's the 5th sheet down. And it will move the sheets out of the way to bring that up to the top. The StoreMaster is also an economical and efficient manner to store your drops. We have drops coming off the saw, drops coming off the router. We can take a measurement of those drops, enter them into the StoreMaster inventory list, and the StoreMaster can then put them into stock and then recall them as needed. The second function of the StoreMaster, as we discussed, is it provides immediate increase in productivity. The key factor with the StoreMaster is I'm never waiting on material. If we're incorporating a beam saw, we can go with the dynamic bed, which is an extended bed on our beam saw, and this allows us to pull the next job, stack it in the back of the beam saw while we're cutting a job. Once that first job has been completed, the sheets are already in place in the bed of the beam saw, and we can start the next job immediately. In relation to the router, as we're cutting a sheet, the StoreMaster has gone into inventory. It's pulled the next sheet. It's placed it on the roller infeed table. Once we complete the machining of the job, the machine will then move to the left. Suction cups will pick up the next sheet. It'll lower the push-off blade, and will then push the completed parts off and load the next sheet, activate the vacuum, and then go get the next sheet. So there's always a sheet in the queue in the router. So we're never waiting on material. That's the key factor. You can still achieve the benefits of the StoreMaster even if you don't have machines that can accept the automation. Perhaps it's a non-Holz-Her brand, or you're running manual machines. We can place an order with the StoreMaster. We can have it build a custom order of the material that we need, the quantities that we need, in the order that we need. We can then transport that by forklift over to the conventional machine or the non-Holz-Her machine. So now let's take a look at the system in action. So here we are at the Texture 6120 21 beam saw. The operator is going to pull up a job. That's going to send an order to the StoreMaster. The StoreMaster is going to go into inventory. and pull the sheet required for that job. The StoreMaster systems are customized to your facility requirements, your layout, as well as the amount of inventory required. The StoreMaster can be used on a wide range of materials, not only melamines, MDF, plywood, also plastics, solid surface material. So now the StoreMaster has loaded the sheet to the beam saw. The pushers have gripped the sheet. And will now go into inventory and get the next sheet required for this particular job. Again, the dynamic table would allow us to be stacking sheets behind the table, so we have the next job already loaded at the machine. The StoreMaster also has measurement verification. 2 fiber optic arms will come out, one in the Y-axis, one in the X-axis. Measure the diameter, the dimensions of the panel. This also allows us to do panel rotation correction. If the forklift operator has brought the bunker material to the loading station and placed it cockeyed, the system will then pick up that sheet, use the fiber optics, correct the angle, and then put it into inventory square. The system also has weight verification. When we enter the data for a new material to go into the system, we give it a material description, we give it the dimensions, the system will then pick that panel up, it'll do a calculation of weight, and then enter that into the material description field. When it goes to pick up that material, either to put it into inventory or load it onto a machine, it's going to verify that weight, and if it's too heavy, it'll put it down, release the vacuum, and then re-grip it. This comes into play primarily when you're doing MDF. MDF, because it's porous, you have a situation where you could bleed through the top sheet and pick up the second sheet. So by having the weight calculation, that'll eliminate any potential accident. So the other application we talked about using the StoreMaster on was in conjunction with the Dynestic, the CNC router. So the operator is going to place an order. The StoreMaster system now will work its way in the inventory to find the correct sheet. There you see the measurement. The vacuum manipulator can also adjust itself for different length panels. So we can have 4x8, 5x10, 5x12 in the storage system. Again, we can also have solid surface material. The StoreMaster will stack to about 1,800 millimeters, or roughly just over 6 foot, on 3/4 sheets. That's going to allow us to stack about 105 sheets per stack. We can also incorporate a labeling system that would be over the auto infeed. This would allow us to label the sheet prior to it being machined, prior to it being loaded onto the CNC machine. So you see the adjustment of the manipulator. The StoreMaster has 90 and 180 degree rotation. So now it's going to load it onto the roller table on the infeed. The conveyor belts are going to kick up. They are now going to drive the panel up to a pin stop so we have an accurate position. Just before that pin stop, there's a light beam. So when the panel passes over the light beam, it now sends a signal to the controller and says that there's a sheet in the queue. The pin stop is going to retract. Pin stop retracts, the grippers grab the panel. Again, had there been a sheet on there previously, the pusher blade now would be pushing the cut parts off to the conveyor belt. We load the panel onto the table of the machine, and then you'll see the lights come on and the vacuum is activated. Again, thank you for your time. I'll see you guys a little bit later this afternoon on the Retool Tour here from Mooresville. Enjoy the remainder of the week. Again, if I can be of any further help, further assistance, certainly get in touch with your local dealer or your local Holz-Her representative.
Very good. Thank you, Michael. All right, so you've just seen the StoreMaster work in conjunction with the beam saw and the CNC router. We were able to work this in the middle of a couple of demos. We got a couple minutes. 11:45 is when we're going to go live at the H3000. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.